Hi lovelies, my name is Jessica and welcome to Makeup.misfit. So this is my first update for Panning Solitaire. Panning Solitaire. And if you saw the introduction video to this project, it was titled something differently, but I did eventually change it to call it Panning Solitaire Introduction. So what had happened was I knew exactly how I wanted to do this project, but I wasn't quite sure what to name it, even though it's going based off of the Fantastic Ladies 2020 Pan That Palette theme, which was Panning Solitaire. So I reached out to the Fantastic Ladies Facebook group, which I have been a part of for a while, and I just asked them, I gave them a little bit of detail what my question and whatever was, and I found out that Erynn Manning was the one who had created this theme, and she said it was absolutely no problem. So I'm titling this Panning Solitaire, and thank you for any name suggestions that were given in the introduction video, because I had asked for a few, so thank you so much for those. But yeah, so this is a Panning Solitaire, and if you don't really know how it works, basically the way that I'm doing it is slightly different than how they were doing it, but you work on a single until you hit pan on it. You work on a duo until you hit pan on it, and then a trio until you hit pan on it. I think they went up to like 5 shades, but I'm stopping at a trio, and then I'm going to refresh and go back to a single until I have completely finished and hit pan in every single shade in this palette. So my goal is just to hit pan in the shades. I'm not necessarily looking to completely finish the palette up. Not right now anyways. The palette that I'm working on is my Mercury Retrograde palette. And this packaging is a little bit broken. The whole cover just comes right off, which I'll show you guys later when I actually show you the inside of this palette. But she's just been giving me some problems, so I wanted to make a project for this so I could focus on it for this year. So that's what this project is for. I do want to just let this be a very chill project. I'm not looking to completely hit pan by the end of this year. I'm hoping, because I did start this last month in January, that giving me the 12 months will get some good progress on here, but I'm not going to have an end date to this project. Whenever I hit pan in every single shade is when the finale will be. So if that is sometime next year, then that's absolutely okay. I don't want to overwhelm myself. I do have my Pan That palette. I did start pan those eyeshadows a couple of weeks ago, and I have this project, so I just want to be able to use my stuff, not feel so overwhelmed. I'm kind of getting there right now, so I'm just gonna take a bit of a step back, slow down, just use what I have, and then continue on. So I've thoroughly been enjoying this eyeshadow palette so far. I'm very happy that I have it. As much as I hate the fact that this is broken, that's what actually got me into using this palette, and I'm very happy for that. I'm just not happy with how broken this packaging is. So what I did was, in my introduction video, I rolled in my single. So there was 18 shades in the palette, so I rolled through 1 to 18, and I got number 18, and that is the shade Frazzled. So there was a crack in the shade, but it was brand new. I was using it from the very start. I had used a few other shades in this palette prior to this project starting, but that was not one of them. So I was keeping track of my usage, and it took me 14 uses to hit pan in the shade Frazzled. So this is what the shade is looking like right now. I think I maybe only reached for it once afterwards, but I'm not keeping track of usage on shades either prior to or after they are rolled in and out. It's only the duration of the time that they're actually in this project. So if I use Frazzled later on, I use it later on, but I'm not going to keep track of how many times afterwards. So that's what the shade's looking like, and the 14 uses does not necessarily mean 14 days. So basically, I have a bit of an issue with my eyes right now, my eyelids. They are very dry, so especially the inner corners. Eyeshadow just likes to kind of disappear and come off of them. It doesn't like to hold primer or no primer. And then the outside corners are a little bit irritated. I think it was the brush that I was using as well, which I've been using for a very long time. So I've switched to a fluffier brush, And I really don't have any issues right now with like the irritation, but the dryness is still a thing. So each time I was wearing the shade Frazzled, if it was coming off, I would reapply it, and the reapplies I counted as uses. So if I did my makeup twice in a day because I had to work during the day and then work at night, that counted as 2 uses. If I had to reapply a couple times throughout the day, that counted as extra uses. So I did hit the 14 uses pretty quickly. But like I said in my introduction video, I don't want to pause and wait for the update. I do want to just keep this going, even though this is a bit more of a relaxed project for me. So I did roll in my duo, which I was super excited to do. I think I may have taken like a couple of days after hitting pan to actually roll in the duo. I know I didn't do it right away. But I was very excited when I found out the shades that I'd been working on. So what I had done and what I'm going to continue to do throughout this project is, because once a pan has shade in it, it's not going to be eligible to be rolled in anymore. So the number of shades is going to go down. So I went 1 to 17, and that's what I rolled. So I rolled in 2 numbers, and I rolled in the number 2, and I rolled in the number 16. So when I found out what shades those were, I was very excited because I rolled in the shade Utopia, which I absolutely love from this palette. It has had some usage on it prior to, and I have also rolled in the shade Karma, which is brand new. I had never touched it prior to rolling it in. So where we are sitting at right now with this, see, it just comes right off. Like, it's not even attached. But this is what my palette's looking like right now. So you can see here is Frazzled. There is a good crack in it, and it actually did fall out a little bit. I managed to put it back in. Things were fine. I don't know if that affected the usage or not, but this is where I focused my brush, as you can see, and from also the photo, but that's what it's looking like. And this is the shade Utopia, and this is the shade Karma. So in addition to the 14 uses here, I have used Karma 4 times, and Utopia 4 times, and I've used Karma 3 times. I'm just gonna double check because it's on my phone. Yeah. So 4 and 3 times, and then Frazzled I used 14. I really like the shade Utopia. Before this project even started, I was like, oh, let's see what it would look like if I did a palette bingo. I'm just curious to see the shades I would get. Utopia was one of them. I believe it was these 4 shades here, and then I can't remember what the 5th shade was, but I did a look with those 5 shades, and I was thoroughly impressed with Utopia. Because it's not that I didn't think that the shade went with these other colors that I got, but it just gave it a little bit of a pop that I wasn't expecting. So I really like pairing Utopia with these shades, but I also started to pair it with Karma. So that's actually how I've been wearing Karma all 3 times. The first time I used Utopia, it was with these shades here. But when I started using Karma, I was curious to see how they would look together, because when I rolled it in, Karma looks more of a brown than it does a peach, but I was surprised because there is a little bit, I guess, of like a peachy or orange tone to it that I wasn't expecting. So I actually do like pairing these 2 together. So that's how I've been wearing them, along with this shade here and this one the odd time. So I really do enjoy this palette. So I'm curious to see how long it's going to take me to hit pan, because like I said, I did have prior usage on Utopia, but I have not had any prior usage on Karma. So this is from brand new, only swatched. So I'm very interested in seeing. And also because I've switched my brush to a fluffier brush, I know it kind of can affect your progress in your usage. So we'll see how that goes, but honestly, I'm not too worried about it. Once I hit pan, and that is what it is. So that's what the palette's looking like. And I really do like this so far, and I've enjoyed every look that has come out of this. So the one thing I want to note is this does have a cream shade, which I don't know if you've heard me mention in any other of my videos, but I like to work on my cream shades like one at a time until they're completely finished, and then move on to another one. So what I'm going to do, just in case I end up rolling 3 new shades in before or in between updates, whether it's this upcoming update or the one after that, I'm going to exclude this shade from being rolled in. But what I'm going to do is the shade that I'm working on right now as my cream shade, I'm almost finished. And then I do have another cream shade that I want to use, which is much smaller. It's from the Viseart Warm Edit palette. So I know that I'm going to be able to get that out pretty quickly. So what I'm going to do is use this cream shade in my trio. And then when I go to roll the numbers, the shades for my trio, I'm only going to roll in 2 instead of 3. And then I'm just going to continue to use this until it's completely gone. So if I start using this before I actually roll in my trio, that's totally okay. I'm going to use this as soon as I finish up that shade from the Viseart Warm Edit palette. And I'm just going to use it until it's completely gone. But as soon as I hit pan in here, then I'll be able to roll in my new single shade as long as the other 2 shades have pan in them as well. So I'm going to exclude that shade, which means that I'm going to go from rolling, I'm going to have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I think. I'll go from 1 to 14 for my next update and roll in 2 new shades and then continue on from there. So I do want to get a lot of use out of this palette. A part of me wants to repan this palette because this packaging is just a little frustrating, to be completely honest. I absolutely love it. I wish it was still together. I wish it was not broken, but it is very difficult and annoying to use. I do really like using this mirror, but I have a hard time when it's not together. So I think what I'm going to do is I am a little afraid to repan this, but I'm going to, I think, maybe test it out. I don't have any empty, well, I do have empty pans, but I might just take shades from another palette, try to repress them into some empty pans that I have, see how well it works before I actually decide to commit and do that with this palette, because I feel like if it's in a magnetic palette, I'm not going to have so much of an issue reaching for this or feeling like it's just annoying because it's constantly breaking and opening up on me. So let me know if you've repanned anything and how well it worked out for you, because I'm very curious. I did watch a video, Faces by Gina, on Instagram. She made it look easy, but I really have no idea what I'm in for. So let me know if you've done it before and how well that worked out for you. Because apparently depotting this palette is not a smart idea, because that was my initial thought, but we'll have to see how things go. So yeah, so for this upcoming month, I will still be focusing on Utopia and Karma, and we'll see where I'm sitting at in the next update. And if I still have those 2, then I still have those 2, and I will just re-roll and screen record like I have done for this update, and we'll just see how far I can get in this palette, because I really do enjoy this. That's upside down. And I really wish that I wish I bought a backup of this, to be completely honest, but I didn't, and that's okay. I don't regret that. I shouldn't regret that, but yeah, I'm very happy to actually be getting some use on here. So that's my first update. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Like I said, if you have repanned anything, let me know down below. Let me know what your experience was, or if you know of any other videos that I could watch that would probably help me and make me a little less nervous about doing that. Yeah, that's it. So thank you guys again so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see you guys all later. Bye.